Whey is the liquid resulting from the coagulation of the milk. In the cheese making process, the milk is coagulated. The coagulated part is separated and the leftover is the acidic liquid called as the whey. But it is really as simple as that? Let's find out. Until 1970s, whey was found only in the heated denatured form, which is water insoluble, gritty, yellowish brown powder, has the limited application. But after that, membrane filtration has arrived, allowing the separation and the fractionation of the whey protein while retaining its solubility. Now, what is membrane filtration process? Membrane filtration process is the molecular sieving technique that employed 150 micrometer thick semi-permeable membrane which is supported on a more porous structure and similar material reinforced based. Now, the permeate part is the material which gets passed and has the lower molecular weight than the overall mixture, and the retenate which the material get blocked by the membrane. Whey processor employed 5 types of membrane filtration processes. Sometimes combination of these processes are also used. So these include ultrafiltration, nanofiltration, electrodialysis, microfiltration, reverse osmosis. These all processes are followed by the spray drying technique. The combination of these processes is used to obtain the different content of the whey protein. Now let's discuss all processes one by one. First is ultrafiltration. The dividing line between permeate and the retenate, known as the molecular weight cutoff, is between 3 and 100 kilodalton for ultrafiltration membrane, whereas the molecular weight cutoff of 10 kilodalton is usually employed for the whey. Whey separation by the ultrafiltration is normally performed at the temperature below 55 degrees Celsius with an inlet pressure of around 300 kilopascal and the membrane pore size of 250 nanometer. The whey retenate consists of the proteins, fats and the insoluble salts, whereas the lactose, insoluble minerals and much of the water are in the permeate part. Now, second one is the diafiltration. In the diafiltration, the pre-treatment such as the pH adjustment and the pre-concentration is also done to improve the performance. The addition of the water to the retenate is also done, followed by the second ultrafiltration. This has been developed for the removal of the salt and the lactose present in the mixture. Now let's discuss the microfiltration. The microfiltration is similar to the ultrafiltration, but here the molecular weight cutoff is of 200 kilodalton. The membrane pore size may vary from 0.05 to 10 micrometer, allowing the selective separation of the microbial flora and the separation of the whey protein with the other components also. This setup would have an internal volume of around 800 liter with a flow rate of 30,000 liter per hour and the concentration ratio of 30:1. This concentration ratio means that 1000 liter of the concentrate and the 29,000 liter of the permeate will be produced each hour. Now let's see the nanofiltration process. Nanofiltration sometimes refers to the ultra-osmosis also. In nanofiltration, removal of the particle size smaller than the 300 to 1000 Dalton is there and is also suitable for the desalting and demineralizing of the whey. This method also selectively separates lactose. Here, the operation pressure is between 1.5 and 3 megapascal is sufficient to increase the total solid of the whey from 5 to 40%, while removing the 40% of the other minerals also. Now, let's see the reverse osmosis process. In reverse osmosis process, whey is preheated to 50 to 55 degrees Celsius and pumped at the higher pressure, which is between 2.7 to 10 megapascal, through a membrane to remove the minerals. The molecular weight cutoff is only 150 Dalton here. This may result in the membrane fouling problem also. 2/3 of the water in the whey can be removed by the reverse osmosis, while leaving a concentrate that can be dried or shipped more effectively. Now, there are some other techniques also, which are quite good, but it includes the addition of the chemicals. We will see now first the electrodialysis. Electrodialysis is the another method for demineralizing of the whey. In the electrochemical process, direct current is passed through the whey inside chamber, which is the ion permeable walls. The other membrane filtration technique used for the whey are the pressure driven processes. Now let us see the ion exchange chromatography. This process uses the ionic property of the whey proteins. It features the use of the resins to isolate the various fraction of the proteins from the rest of the whey. Ion exchange, electrodialysis and the ultrafiltration at the acidic pH have been used to demineralize or replace the specific mineral ions in the whey for improving ultrafiltration flux and producing whey protein concentrate with unique and improved functional properties. Partial or the complete replacement of the calcium ion with sodium ion by the ion exchange processing results in a whey protein concentrate with improved solubility and gelation properties. In addition, with a careful choice of the resin system, the evolents, that is the alpha-lactoalbumin and the beta-lactoglobulin, can be separated from each other even more precisely than with the electrophoresis. So after this, the heat treatment of the whey protein is also done so as to convert the liquid whey protein to the powder form. The heat treatment also affects the functionality of the whey protein. It impacts negatively on the whey protein solubility, whereas the denaturation of the whey which is occurred in the whey protein is also the cumulative effect of the heat treatment during the manufacturing processes. So this is all about the whey protein separation processes. In the next video, we will discuss everything related to the how whey protein is harmful. So till then, stay tuned to your only channel, Research Pathshala.